We're going to see a little more practical example of nested loops by creating a multiplication table. So let's create a classic multiplication table where we have, like 1 times 2, 1 times 1, 1 times 2, 1 times 3, all the way to 1 times, say like maybe 9. And the next row is 2 times 1, 2 times 2, 2 times 3. The last row will be, 9 times 1, 9 times 2, all the way to 9 times 9. So this would require some nesting. Is one solution is to we're going to multiply two numbers together. So the first number, and let's start off not at 0 but at say 1, and we'll go all the way to 9. And so what we want to do is, first of all, let's just print this out just to see it. So for each of these, we want to multiply each one of these numbers by all of these numbers, right? So 1 times 1, 1 times 2, 1 times 3, and so forth. So this would be good for nesting. So we could say for j in range 1 to 10, we will now print out, let's just put an f string in here. We'll say I times j like this. Okay, so for the ones, we'll have all these multiplications. For the twos, we will have all these. And then we can just have the answer I times j, and maybe we can tab it over 1. So here, we're doing the computation inside of the curly braces, which is fine. And let's just look at some of these. We should get down to 9 times 9 at the very end, which is what we do. Now, one thing, so maybe we don't need to print out the first one over here. So let's just get rid of that. And now we have all this, and let's get rid of this tab to move it back over. So we immediately get down over here. Now, in the print function, this is a little trick, and we'll cover this later when we talk about functions. But by default, whenever you write the print function, the cursor moves to the very next line, right? So it doesn't just start here when you do another print. And you see this, if you press Shift Tab Tab, you'll see that the end of the print statement will automatically put a new line character there for you. So you can control this. You can say, instead of doing a new line character, I'm going to set end equal to a space character like this. And now it'll just continuously print. The only reason it goes to a new line is that it just doesn't fit on the screen. If we had a very large screen, it would just keep printing on the same line. So this looks a little ridiculous, but so maybe what we'd like to do is, after it iterates through all the second loop, the inner loop, we can then have a print statement that just prints a new line. So we can just do print by default. We don't have to put anything in here. It will automatically just use that end as a new line. So we don't need that. So now we have it all on one line. It's a little bit jumbled up and hard to read. What we could do is separate everything by a tab like this. So that looks pretty good. Maybe we can squunch things in a little bit. And so we still have a tab over here. It looks like the tab is very short. So sometimes maybe we can just put a space at the end over here, and that lines things up. Instead of starting at 1, since those are pretty easy, maybe we can go from 2 like this, since it's a little bit too much information. And so that looks pretty good. Maybe we just cut down on one of them. So instead of going all the way to, actually we can go from 3, since that's a more interesting one. Okay, right. Okay, so that's what we can fit on our screen like that. Maybe we can put the space back. Okay, so that looks a little bit better. All right, so that's a way to print out a multiplication table and to format it a little bit nicer using nested loops. So just once again, the outer loop is controlled by this. It will have the loop variable I. So that's controlling these rows over here. And then the inner loop, we're just increasing j, which starts at 3. So 2 times 3, then 2 times 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So each one of these outer loops will multiply 3 to 9. And then we just get the result by putting it in the curly braces over here. Okay, so that is creating a multiplication table using nested loops.